We've been busy, guys. If you can see right here, I went ahead and added this very robust internal framework, similar to what happened to the main altar. There was nothing here. It was just this rather substantial, granted, rather substantial piece of timber that was supporting the weight here. And the reason why I have to put all this in here, and I'm going to install some levelers, you guys are going to be in there for that. Remember, there's a tabernacle that sits on top of this, because this is the side altar, right? I got side altar 1 and 2. Anyway, this is side altar 2, kind of arbitrary. Go ahead and have tabernacles on here, and on top of those is going to be a Joseph statue and a Mary statue. And these statues are a little over 5 feet tall. They're pretty heavy, so all of this needs to be here to make sure that over time that this doesn't sag, which is kind of what happened to it, and I had to kind of pull everything back into shape. So another thing that we're doing, remember I had repurposed some of the old pieces to try to make something work, and it's not working. You know, like when you're sitting there and you're wondering, I wonder if God is working. Well, I realized this morning that I needed to do a lumber run. I need some 2x6s to revise some things that I'm doing over here. And what happens to show up? Some guys next door got a delivery and they're like, hey, do you need some wood? And then exactly what I needed just happened to show up. Weird, right? There we go. Just got to put a little work into it. This is the wood that just arrived. Was delivered to me, and it just happens to be the exact size I needed. I just need to trim a little bit off, and it'll be good to go. So I'm going to have to get this. I'm going to go ahead and cut all these pieces, and then I'm going to put them on the saw and cut an angle on them, which takes a bunch of the meat off. So I'm not just having to take this huge cross section out with the router. That way it just, when you're taking something, a chunk out this big out of something with a router, you're better off either stepping it down or something like that than just trying to get it all at once, because you're not going to get that clean of a cut because it's having to remove so much material. Anyway, now I went ahead and I rigged a stop in here, so all I have to do is push my material up to the stop, and then I can make all the 4 cuts that I need of one size and then move the stop and then do the other 4. It's a lot better than just measuring, cutting, measuring, cutting, measuring. It's like, I don't know, it literally drains my soul. But the important thing here is, because of what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use on the router and do all that kind of stuff, I need to look around on this piece, and if there's a knot in it, I actually need to cut it out. Or it could possibly be dead in the middle. I mean, that would be okay. But if it's anywhere close to the edge, if I know that the router might hit it and it's a knot of any kind, not gonna do it. A little pun there. But I gotta cut it out or go around it. Because that thing, the router bit hits that, it could just chip it right out and make a mess out of everything. Pieces are all cut. Now you see it's the right width, and these are my square edges that I cut. See that? See how it's nice and square? See how this one has the round over? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get it on the saw, and I'm going to cut it to the right width, but I'm going to take these roundovers off of this wood so it's a nice square piece of wood. nice and finished. That's giving us the exact profile we want right there. And you'll notice that there's gonna be some like little nicks and things like that all here and there. Unfortunately, that's part of the process when you send things through the router, because it's cutting this way and it kind of wants to blow some stuff out the back when it kind of gets toward the end. But that's what Bondo's for, and feather fill, things like that. So anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'm closing up shop.